I was working steady afternoons, so I worked from 3 o'clock to 11 o'clock. I leave at 2. 2 o'clock comes along, and that's when the comedy club opened, and I get a phone call. I'm like, oh, who do I got to get rid of to make my phone call? I look at the call display, and it's Yuck Yucks. And I was like, oh, this is convenient. So I pick up the phone and went, Second Friends Hotline, and the lady on the other end starts cutting the gut laughing. Hey YouTube, I'm back. Crazykid here. Here to drop off another box of giggles from my past. I'm going to be doing a thing about my experiences on stand-up comedy. Anybody who knows me personally knows that I was on stage a few times for doing stand-up comedy as an amateur. And this is a story about, some of them a couple of those experiences. One experience I had, there was like 5 people in the audience, and I brought 3 of them. And it was the toughest show I've ever had to do, because there was like nobody there to engage with, nobody there to, basically, get what you're putting out. And normally when you're doing a show, you got people over here laughing, you got people over here laughing, you got people in the middle laughing, and some people are just laughing because they don't want to feel left out, which is fantastic for the comedian. But when I did the show at Leo Dufour's, before I went on stage, the manager's like, "Oh, you can do this." He's trying to pump me up, and then I look out in the audience. There's like 5 people out there. I'm like, "Oh boy, this is gonna go great." And the MC was having a hard time engaging the 5 people because they wouldn't sit together. 2 over here, 3 over here, and I was like, "Well, this isn't any good." So he gets off the stage, and he introduced me and gets off the stage, and I get up there, and the first thing I say was, "Wow, it's so great that everybody dressed as chairs. Apparently these 5 people didn't get the memo," and everybody got laughing, and I did my set, and then I get off the stage, and I went to the club manager and went, "Man, we need to get some more people in here," because that was tough. But when I first got to do stand-up comedy, it was kind of weird because it almost felt like somebody playing a practical joke on me, because I'd been working at this factory for about 7 years, and I'd been making people laugh while we were working on our line. Just telling them, goofy things that have happened to me in the past, and how I look at things and whatever like that, and just random stuff, just making everybody laugh, kind of enjoy the day, make the day go by a little faster. And I was on the social committee, and I suggested that we do a dinner show comedy, like dinner comedy show, as one of our events. And they said, "Fine, we'll do it, but you do all the legwork." I was like, "I got no problem doing that." So I'm running back and forth, to the comedy club and making phone calls and whatnot, and getting information, and get all the information put together. And they said, "Okay, you got to sell tickets." So I, "Oh, no problem." So I stayed after work, came in early to sell tickets. And while I was selling tickets, all these people were going, "Oh, you're going to be on stage? You're going to be on stage?" I'm like, no. Because when I was a kid and going to school, I used to get bullied a lot. And when I did presentations, like speeches and stuff, I'm doing speeches to people that are going to beat me up at recess. So, I was kind of nervous and stutter like Porky Pig. So I didn't, public speaking in meeting, no, not something I would think about. So I'm out selling all these tickets. And while I'm selling all these tickets, I called the manager at the comedy club and said, "Listen, this is the date that I'm going to end selling. I'm going to stop selling tickets. I'm going to give you guys the information on how many people are coming, so you can get ready, get the food ready, la la la." So the day comes along, and I was working steady afternoons, so I worked from 3 o'clock to 11 o'clock. I leave at 2. 2 o'clock comes along, and that's when the comedy club opened, and I get a phone call. I'm like, "Oh, who do I got to get rid of to make my phone call?" I look at the call display, and it's Yuck Yucks. And And I was like, oh, this is convenient. So I pick up the phone and I went, Second Friends Hotline. And the lady on the other end starts cutting the gut laughing. And she's like, is this so-and-so? And I was like, yeah. And she goes, I gotta talk to you about a proposition that I have for you. I said, well, I gotta talk to you about this comedy show that I'm bringing, a bunch of people to. Let me get that taken care of, and then we can discuss what you want to talk about. Then I gotta go to work. So I tell her how many people's coming, where we're coming from, and she's like, okay. Over the last few weeks, we have been flooded with calls about getting you on our stage. And I'm like, really now? This is interesting. And she's like, yeah. She says, people say that all these people, we've been called by about 30, 35 people saying that you're a funny guy. We need to get you on our stage to see if you can do this comedy thing. I was like, well, I never thought about it. What do I need to do? So she lists it out. She can make a 5-minute video or make a 5-minute audio tape of what you would do on stage, of your material. Give us a bio, name, address, phone number, best time to call on a piece of paper, and then, deliver it to us in a manila envelope. I was like, okay. So, well, I got to go to work. So I hung up the phone, I booked it to work. And I didn't tell anybody about the call that she made to me. I just told people that, hey, I put in the numbers, this is the date, So I had a date that I had to get the money to them to pay for our events. We just show up and enjoy ourselves. So the whole time, people are like, are you going to be on stage? I'm like, no. So we go to the dinner show. Everything went fine. And then during that whole time, between that phone call and that dinner show, I was like, okay, what do I do about this? So I went to Canadian Tire, picked up a recorder, like a tape recorder, and some tapes. And the only tapes I could find was 90 minutes, which means there's 45 minutes on each side. And I got busy on my computer. I'm typing away, the different stories that I've been telling all these people. And then I recorded it, and it filled one whole side of that one of those tapes. And I was like, wow, I hope this works. Put it in a manila envelope, side of this side. And on the day that I went in to bring in the money for the company to go, I bring in this manila envelope as well. And I said, this is from the company, this is from me. Just, let's go. So that night, after I get off work, I'm home for about 15 minutes, and all of a sudden my phone rings, and I'm like, oh, who's this? So I look, it's Yucks again. So I pick up the phone, and the manager's just sitting there laughing his butt off. And he goes, if you can do any 5 minutes of that tape, you'll do fine. I'm like, all right, hook it up. So he hooks me up a date, and it's like the beginning of April. And I've got like a month before this whole thing goes on. And, I went to work, and I was like telling people, hey, I'm going to be on Yuck stage on this date. Next thing I know, people are putting posters up on the information boards about me going on stage, and all of a sudden all these people from the office and stuff like coming up to me, are you going to be on stage? Yeah, I'm going to be on stage. So when the day came that I was going to be on stage, 45 people that knew me beforehand showed up. And there was like 230 to 240 people in the audience. And the place was packed. Like, it was just loaded with people. And the club manager, he was like, just start talking. Don't shut up until your 5 minutes is done, and you'll do fine. Just keep talking. So the MC goes up, and he introduces me. And he messed up the introduction, and that's what got me talking. I just fired off from there and got everybody going, and everybody was laughing like crazy during my set. And then when it was my time to get off, I get off and go down. The MC didn't have to do any real getting the crowd back into it. They were having fun. So he just introduces the next act. But while he's doing that, I'm talking to the manager, and the manager's like, oh, you ought to go down to Detroit and do some shows down there. I don't think so. He goes, why not? And I says, don't you watch the news, man? So those people carry guns, and they use them on each other. I don't want to be starting my show with, don't shoot, I'm Canadian. And he starts rolling. He goes, yeah, you ought to do that. That's a good opener. I was like, no, I don't want to give him any ideas either. So he's laughing, and the MC comes back, and the guy out on the stage, the only thing you can hear in that audience is him. And every time he takes a break, you can hear people ordering drinks. Like it was quiet. Like he couldn't get anybody going. So the MC and I are outside in the hallway, and we're just making each other laugh. Like, you know, I heard Jeff Foxworthy say one time on stage that when you do something like that, the adrenaline rush is so heavy that you just can't just shut it off like a switch. You just can't go, oh, I'm serious now. So, and believe me, I had an adrenaline going through me like lightning bolts, and it felt great. And so the MC and I are just out there just cutting each other up, laughing our butts off. And all of a sudden, while this amateur comedian was out there, a young girl, about 20, 21, 22, comes out of the audience, beautiful woman, blonde hair, bright blue eyes, walked straight up to me, looked me square in the face and said, so, Mr. Funny Pants, what's your sign? And I couldn't help it, because I got no filter. There is nothing stopping a wild idea from going from my brain out the water slide, out the gaping hole in my face. And I just looked at this girl and I said, slow down and playing. Just like that. While the MC just dropped. Like, he just lost it. And she's got this really, really weird look on her face, like, and turns around and goes to the bathroom where she was originally heading. As I'm picking up the MC, I'm like, man, I just messed that up, didn't I? And he's like, oh yeah, you did. So then the comedian that's up there that's bombing, like just totally blowing it, he gets signaled that it's time for him to get off the stage. The MC goes around, takes the mic, or gets the mic from the guy, and to get the crowd rolling again, get them back into the game again, he explains what happened out in the hallway, but he doesn't say when it happened, where it happened, who was involved. He just said that he witnessed this event happen. And the crowd went off the deep end. They were just laughing their butts off. And then he introduces the next act, comes around, and he goes, hey, thanks for the material. I said, I wasn't here trying to give you any material. So, but that's the differences between a no-show and a good show. A no-show is hard because you don't feel that engagement from the people. You don't feel that you're reaching the people. You don't get that commonality that you've been in the same situation, or they've been in the same situation that you're describing. And this whole YouTube experience is really, bringing that back to me. And I'm still laughing about that whole thing at Leo Dufour's. But yeah, that's a couple of the experiences I had on stage at Yuck Yucks and Leo Dufour's. I hope it entertained you guys. I hope you guys had fun. I just hope you guys have a wonderful day. We shall talk to you on the next one. Hey gang, just a friendly reminder here. Don't forget to like, give me the Fonzie. Share with all your friends and neighbors and anybody you think could use a laugh. Leave a comment below, whether you like my material or whatever. Tell me how I'm doing as a channel. Don't forget to subscribe, because that really helps out my channel. Helps my channel grow and get through the algorithm. And if you're interested in my material, maybe you check out some more of my stuff that I have available. And don't forget to ring the ding dong for this ding dong. Have a great day, folks.